Hello everyone, I'm Turnman and here I have ToyWorld's first triple changer, Evila Star. Now called Evila Star or Evila Star due to a last minute name change. ToyWorld's take on Astrotrain goes for some really great real world looking out modes. Transformation on this guy is brilliant. I've done a video instruction guide to show in detail how it works. The ToyWorld instructions aren't very clear in some places, and you could damage the toy if you don't know what you're doing or can't interpret correctly the tiny pics in the instructions. I'll put a link on this video once it is finished. The toy comes packed in train mode. The first thing that will grab your eyes is the high level of details. Pipes, windows, pistons are all molded in. It does look like a real-world steam locomotive. There isn't anything that suggests of another mode if you look at it. Underneath is where you'll see any hints that there is more than meets the eye. The wheel mechanism does work, but the bar that connects the locomotive's wheels sometimes gets stuck. On a flat surface, you'll have trouble making the wheels turn. A trick I use is to fold the smaller wheels just a bit. That way, the bigger wheels will hit the ground and be able to roll. Now it's time for some size comparisons. Here we have Masterpiece cars. As you can see, the locomotive is evidently very small compared to the Masterpiece cars. Here we have a classics figure. Next is shuttle mode. I really like this mode. The weight on the figure feels great. These parts here unfold to give access to a couple of peg holes for holding the two guns, but they are just too big to grab the guns tightly. In other words, they will just fall off. Like the steam engine, the shuttle is very solid. I find the likeness to the real space shuttle to be incredibly high. The shuttle mode is very solid. That said, I do have a problem with this mode. The bars that link the locomotive's wheels together cannot be secured in this mode. You can hear them rattle while I flip the spaceship around. It isn't a big deal, but it's kinda irritating. Some blue tack can help you to keep them from moving around when handling the toy. Now I'll show you how it scales next to other Transformer toys. Something I want to point out is that the plastic isn't white. It's more of a light green color that is very pleasant to the eye. Also, plastic quality feels very high-end and very durable. Robot mode clearly goes for the toy look. You could say it is a mix of the original toy and the classics version. The lower part of the leg is rather thick, as you can see, makes the legs rather fat. From the back and from the front, they will look nice and clean. Articulation is your standard 90 degrees at the elbows, in and out movement on the arms. Legs can swing out, rotate, and bend 90 degrees at the knee. The feet are articulated with toe and tilt movement. articulation that lets you pull off a lot of action poses. You can move the chest shield and fold it in half, and that gives you more movement in the arms, so you can display it on a sniping position or just with the guns raised, like this. Now, the chest shield here sits a bit too high sometimes, depending on the angle. It doesn't bother me, but if you want to, you could pull it a bit down. So unpeg, pull back, open here, and take it farther down. You collapse it a little, close, and here you have it resting lower. Or you could just close it, completely fold it in, leaving the robot chest like this gives you a more cartoon look. It isn't exactly like the cartoon, but at least you'll get rid of the big chest shield hanging from the chest. Here we have Miss Star next to Masterpiece Optimus Prime. In my opinion, the size isn't that bad. Many are wondering if this figure makes the cut as a Masterpiece size figure. Well, if you go only by size, I would say that maybe. The holy scale chart isn't clear about Astrotrain. Going by an interpretation of its holiness done by TFW member Tekering, the ToyWorld version of Astrotrain falls a bit short in that regard. It's just a tiny bit smaller in comparison to Prime. In terms of engineering, it beats the living crap out of a lot of official and unofficial Masterpiece toys. We have a very realistic looking set of alt modes. The plastic and build quality are the best I have seen on a ToyWorld release so far. A note of worthy achievement considering how many moving parts this toy has. If you want cartoon accuracy, then this is clearly not for you, since ToyWorld completely went for the G1 toy look. I'm very open when it comes to Masterpiece toys, but what I value most is the engineering and the aesthetics. Since MP10, the line has followed a mix of both toon and toy influences, but with a heavy dose of anime hero flavor mixed in. Miss Star is missing that extra punch. Maybe the fantastic alt modes have spoiled me, but I find that the robot mode does not reach the same level. I still like how it looks, I really do, but you have to admit that the body section looks a bit too long. I find that the crotch section is to blame for that elongated body look. ToyWorld did their best, but it still looks like it's hanging lower than it should. This part here looks like it has molded skirt detail, but it just sits too high up. Maybe if that part could unfold to cover more space, it would look better. Just some color tricks could have integrated the crotch section with the skirt better. Then again, this looks like a diaper now, so I don't know. The design doesn't allow it, but I really think that if the crotch section could have been made to collapse into the body, the robot mode would have better proportions. Miss Star looks imposing next to classics and third-party figures from Mastermind Creations, Unique Toys, and ToyWorld. By looks alone in bot mode, I think that the ToyWorld Astrotrain shares a bit more with this than straight Masterpiece figures. The DX9 Chigger is bigger and rocks a better proportionate robot mode, but loses in all modes. Either way, I'll also get it since both toys make great and very different interpretations of a transforming toy that changes into two very different vehicles. The different schemes also help in my book to justify getting both. realistic for the realistic looking toy world, and cartoony looking for the more animated looking DX9 version. I've seen the video reviews of the DX9 production sample, and just seeing how completely different the transformations on these two toys work makes my inner fanboy super happy. ToyWorld does have the extra belt notch of being perfect transformation. The DX9 version has a piece that covers the upper part and a landing gear that turns into the gun. In my opinion, there is still room for a better looking third-party Astrotrain, one that pulls all three modes and delivers the stylized anime look of the Masterpiece line. But personally, I can't wait in this case. I like cool transformations like the one Evila Star has, and I've been waiting for a good Decepticon triple changer for ages. So, to finish off, is this toy worth it? Well, you decide. In my case, I really like it. It has some brilliant alt forms, very precise engineering, and an entertaining set of transformation sequences. I do wish that the wings and those bars that connect the wheels would peg somewhere in robot mode so that they don't move around or rattle. But they are just nitpicks. If you like what you see, and if you enjoy triple changing robots, then I'm sure you'll be happy with this version. If you want to cover a place in your masterpiece collection, maybe you should wait for the DX9 version. Like I said before, I'm going to get both. I see enough differences between the two to warrant the purchases of both. But again, this is your choice. Well, I hope this has helped you, or at least given you a better understanding of how this toy looks. Like I said before, there's a video instruction guide so you could transform it or just look how the engineering works. And if you like what you say, just hit the like button or suggest other toys that need or would benefit from a video instruction guide. That is all. Thanks for watching. I'm Turnman. Goodbye.